Arsenal Fan TV here with Matthew Bazell. He's got a book here. It's called the Theatre of Silence that he's just given to me. Thanks very much for that. Signed and all. Signed and all. Tell us about this book.
Oh, it's a protest book about football. Got released in 2008, and then it got updated, released again in 2011 because Johnny Lydon, the Sex Pistol, did a guest chapter, and we had to update the book because, you know, in 2008 we're talking about guys who were on 100 grand a week. That was a big deal back then, 100 grand a week. Oh my God! And by 2011, these guys, you had Tevez on 250,000 pounds a week, and it's just everything's got worse since 2008. It's all got worse. Who would believe that from then? So I just had to update it.
Now, I know you talk a lot about, in the book, about, you even got it, football's lost its soul, about stadiums, etc. I mean, Emirates, you're obviously you're a Gooner, Arsenal fan. What do you think of the Emirates Stadium? I mean,
it means nothing to me.
For many a fan, it may be nothing to you, but for many a fan, they love this place. They think it's a beautiful stadium.
Well, I think it could be the best stadium in the world. Do you know what they've got to do? They've got to put a couple of ends of terracing behind each goal, fill in the upper tiers a little bit, get rid of that corporate thing around the middle because that doesn't do any good to anyone. They don't spend the money, so what's the point? It could be a great stadium, but they've got to get the fans back in. The stadium's only as good as the fans who are in it. And there's so many Arsenal fans that just walked away. I mean, look, I was the kind of supporter, I'd get behind the team, I'd sing for Arsenal. But I'll be down the pub this afternoon. I'm not going in there. And I'll tell you, there's a goon I know, a fella called Stephen Gallagher, right? Let me tell you about this Arsenal fan. He's got Arsenal tattoos all down his arms, all down his back, all down his legs, okay? And he's the sort of fan I sing for the team. I bumped into him the other day, and he follows it from a distance now. Now, how can a guy who's got Arsenal tattoos all down his arms, all down his legs, all down his back, the man follows it from a distance now? What's going on?
One of the things you talk about a lot in the book is ticket pricing.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that you've met Richard Scudamore, who's in charge of the Premier League.
Yeah.
And a lot of people give him props and they say to him that he's done great things for the Premier League. It's become a product that's gone worldwide. It's all around the world now. Ticket prices, I know that's one thing that you've got to beef with.
It's scandalous. It's cultural robbery, is what it is. You can't look at football and the way it's gone without being angry about it. It's a cultural robbery. Scudamore is very, very good at what he does. So I was one of 5 fans who got in to meet him 2 months ago, and he's very good. He'll look you in the eye. He's very smooth, but he's a businessman. He's a ruthless businessman who's out for himself in the Premier League. He doesn't give a stuff about football supporters. Let's get it right. Because I asked him. I said, does it bother you that fans are priced out now? And his indirect response was no. As long as stadiums are full, that's what Scudamore's about, is filling stadiums, and he doesn't care how much money. He wants to sell a product to the rest of the world that has full stadiums. He doesn't care how it happens. He's a ruthless businessman. I mean, nothing will change with negotiating with someone like Scudamore. You can't go in and talk to Scudamore and say, would you mind lowering ticket prices? Because that's not going to happen. The only thing that ever happen is fans have to boycott. But I'm the only person saying that. No one else is saying boycott.
I mean, is the problem you've got the fact that, if you don't turn up here today, there's going to be like 10 people who will take your place.
10 people will take my place, but they're not going to sing. They ain't going to get behind the team. So, I mean, we are disposable. In terms of filling in a seat, we're completely disposable, no doubt about it. In terms of creating an atmosphere, we're not disposable.
Now, you said about the tickets, and you were showing me a couple of tickets earlier. I nearly dropped down when I saw one of them.
Right, you can see that?
£7. Arsenal versus Man United.
1991. We won the title that day as well. £7.
And what's the other one?
Right, that's the first game I ever went to. That's my dad's ticket because it's an adult price, £4.50, 1986, and it's £63 over there today.
£4.50 wouldn't even buy you one of those pizza thingies in there today.
You can't even get a pie for £4.50 anymore, and that's for a good seat.
Now, I mean, you were saying earlier as well about the players and the sort of money they're on.
Yeah.
Now, there is an argument to say that they do sort of deserve to be on a lot of money because if you've got like a product that, I don't know what they're singing over there.
Well, they get for singing that in the ground.
But a lot of these players will argue, well, you know what, we're worth it because if
they would.
Billions are being spent around the world on this product. Why do we not deserve, as a player, to earn £250,000 a week if that's who the fans are coming to see, if that's who everybody's watching on Sky, on Fox, all around the world?
Because it's their wage increases that have increased the revenues. The reason that clubs have such high revenues is because they charge so much money for tickets and so much money for advertising, and that's why the reason the players want such money is because the revenues are it's their fault that the revenues are so high. They don't need to be. I mean, you can be average, and you could be on £50,000 a week, £100,000 a week. Bentner, one word, Bentner. He's worth £52,000 a week, is he? Let's come on.
You got me on that one.
Yeah. But so many of them. How many? There's a whole list of footballers who earn 100 grand a week, 50 grand a week. They shouldn't be more than £10,000 a week, and the true measure of their value would be advertising. Are they getting money through advertising? Are they getting money through endorsements? That's the real measure of how much a player's worth.
Now, how do we get ticket prices down? How do we? As we said earlier, if you boycott, if I boycotted, there'll be 10 people to fill our place. Does that make any sense? I mean, how do we get the message through?
I think maybe we're too far gone, Robbie. Maybe we're too far down the line. But anything can change at any time. I think once there's the will for that to happen, I think it's the only way it can happen. I can't think of another way to get ticket prices down, because you've got Stan Kroenke, you've got Richard Scudamore, Malcolm Glazer, you've got Roman Abramovich. These are ruthless businessmen. They're not going to put anything down because they've got they've suddenly had a change of heart. It's not going to happen. It's only going to happen through the fans' boycott. I mean, the Premier League are worried that away ticket prices, sorry, not away ticket prices, they're worried that away attendances are going down. And so they're putting this, it's not even a half measure to put, for coaches. Is it free coach travel? Well, what if you want to go for a day out? Do you know, because you go to a away game, you don't want to go for just to go there, watch the game and come back. You want to go for a day out. That's not even a half measure. But it could rile them a little bit.
What can we learn off of German football? I mean, they seem to have it sus. Ticket prices are very low. You look at a team like Dortmund, 80,000 people in there every week. Bayern Munich is packed. They've got magnificent stadiums, great players. What can we learn off of them? The
fans, that's what we learn from them. The fans don't tolerate it. Does boycott work? Of course it works, because if you look at the Schalke versus Dortmund 2 years ago, they put the ticket price up from €16 to €13 to €22. Which to us sounds pretty good, doesn't it? But to them, that was unacceptable. So the Dortmund fans boycotted that game. So what we've got to learn from German football is the fans and the fans' togetherness and the fans' passion for not being taken advantage of. Over there, the fans got absolute control. So that's what we've got to learn. That actually boycott it's possible. Maybe not for every club, maybe not Arsenal. But there are clubs, certainly, where I think it could work. It's the only option, there's no other option. And tell us, just before we go here, tell us about the book. Where can we get it from? How much? Well, it's £10.99. Get it on Amazon, I think. How much are you paying for your ticket, pal? How much are you paying for your ticket?
I was paying £18
yeah.
for a junior gunner family close 2 years ago. It's now 36 just to be in the upper tier.
Hold on, come on, jump in, say that. Tell us that. Huh? You was paying how much?
Right, so 2 years ago, I paid £18, junior gunner, family enclosure, lower tier, Arsenal, Tottenham. We won 5-2. It was the best experience of my life. Today, I'm paying £36 as a Cannon Club member in the upper tier to be right at the back. It's not good enough. You know, why are they targeting people like me, students? I'm 18 years old. I cannot afford, I've got a student maintenance loan of £3,500 a year to live on. I can't afford to, double my prices. I'm not saying £36 is completely extortionate compared to what, other fans are paying, near 100. But it's still, it's too much.
You choose your games. So is there some games you can't afford to, so you pick and choose?
Yeah, I mean, normally I can't come to the big games, Category A fixtures, because it's too expensive. But I try and come to the North London Derby. It's one of the biggest events in the country.
And it's just a sort of just a sort of example you're talking about. Well, I think you need to get hold of this book. Tell us once again about this book. Then tell us.
You won't pay £10.99.
You have to give a student discount. Student discount.
I'll sell you one. I'll give you £1 off, mate.
All right, maybe.
Yeah.
But great book. £10.99 available off Amazon.
I think it's probably cheaper on Amazon actually. Yeah, it's cheaper on Amazon. And you get it if you're German, you can get it in German as well.
Okay. Brilliant. Matthew, thanks very much, mate. Good luck.
Thanks.